And with the icebreaker, I've been told that you're allowed to keep the podium here, are you? Perfect, excellent. Anyway, for all of our guests who don't know me, I'm Kevin Penny. For the guests who know me as Kevin Penny, that's not how I started out in this world. I was born March 17th, 1965, so I guess for all the locals here, St. Paddy's Day. My parents, in their infinite wisdom, said, well, we can't call him Patrick, because obviously he's going to be called Paddy Penny. So that was sort of taken off the list. So for the first month of my life, I was known as, which the name given to me by my father, was Sammy. Why Sammy? I don't know. He liked it, no one else did. My sisters wanted to call me Zip, which was named after a dog from some children's book. And so this went on for a month, and I think it was the day of my baptism. We were at the breakfast table, and I think it was about 20 minutes before I was being baptized, and someone came up with a brilliant name, Kevin, and they said, perfect, that's what we'll call him. So they brought me down, and then my name changed to Kevin. So anyway, because I was born on Paddy's Day, that means that every birthday I've been given green cake, made to drink green milk, green ice cream, anyway, which I despise all the time. And I never ate cake because it grossed me out so much looking at the green cake all the time. I think I was 16 by the time I finally got up the guts to ask my mother if I could have a regular chocolate cake like everyone else. And of course, you know, when she found out that that's why I never ate cake, she just thought I didn't like sweet stuff. But I said, no, it actually just grosses me out when I saw that green cake all the time, and I never got into eating it. So that was that. So my twin sisters always used to bug me, anyway, and say that my mother only wanted 6 children, and because I was 7, I was a mistake. So of course, now they were a twin, and I go crying to my mother about this, and she would tell me that, well, you know, actually, yes, I do want 6 children, but actually one of them are a mistake, because, you know, it's a twin, obviously. So, you know, that used to make me happy anyways. You see, one of my first memories that I ever had was looking at my aunt in her casket. I think I was 2 and a half at the time. That's the only memory I have of her, and that's the very earliest memory of my life, is looking at this dead woman in a casket. And actually, I don't think I've gone near a casket ever since. When I go to a wake, I stay on the other side of the room. So, anyway. I was late. My mother tells me I was late to speaking. You know, to my first words, I think, I was close to 2 years old before I actually said anything. All the time it was always just, ba 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 ba. So she'd say to me, you know, do you want some milk? Ba 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 ba. Do you want some biscuits? Ba 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 ba. So, I was also late to walking. I was 1.5 years, and my father came home one day and said, or my mother, you know, told my father when he came home that Kevin took his first test today. So, you know, he was all excited. He said, oh, great. So, you know, get him to walk again. So I wouldn't walk. So I said, come on, Kevin, get up, get up. No, I wouldn't walk. I just sat there on the floor. And he said, well, what was going on? She said, I don't know. She said, I was playing some records. He said, what were you playing? She said, I was playing Clancy Brothers. He said, okay, well, put the Clancy Brothers on. So she put on the record, and the record's going on, and nothing is happening. And all of a sudden, the song The Whistling Gypsy came on. And with that, I got up off the floor, and I started, I guess it was dancing, so I started walking around all over. The song ended, and down on the floor I went. So again, for about a week after that, when people would come to visit, they would have to put on the record, and it would show everyone that I could walk, and I'd get up, and I'd dance around and whatever for a while. They were all happy with that. Let me see. Anytime my parents would go out of the house, my older siblings obviously would be in charge of me. The brother that I talked about earlier in my thought for the day when I went to work for him, he'd be in charge of me, but what he would do when he was in charge was he would lead the others in putting me in a cardboard box, sending me down the stairs as if it was great entertainment for him. He would also go and turn on the oven and then try to, I don't think he would actually do it, but he would try to stuff my head in there, you see? And then he would do the same thing with the toilet. He'd go and start flushing the toilet, trying to stuff my head down. Anyway, I'd go crying to my mother all the time, and she always thought, oh, well, yeah. he has an overactive imagination, so she'd, oh, that's too bad, you know, like that. And I think it was years later when he was getting married, and they were all together, and they were all telling these stories to my mother. And of course, she was horrified then at that point, said, oh my God, all this time the poor child was traumatized by that. So, anyway, I got over that. The other thing I would say, my greatest achievement that I could say of my childhood, though, was that it came at the age of 6. And that was the age when I gave up smoking, because I had taken it up 15 minutes before that. My father came home from work, and he had a cigar. Someone at work, his wife had a baby, and so he went and he put the cigar, because he had given up smoking when I was born. He put the cigar way up high, and I saw it up there, and I said, Dad, I said, what's that? He said, that's a cigar. I said, oh, can I have that? I said, sure. He said, after dinner, we'll all sit down now, and, you know, you can have that. So anyway, we're all around the dinner table, all 7 kids there, and so dinner finishes, and everyone starts to get up, and my father said, hold on. Kevin's going to do something for us now. So he takes up the cigar, and he gets started for us. Now, a cigar, you're not supposed to inhale it. So he took out the cigar, he got it started for me, he said, here you go. So I started puffing it, you see. He said, no. He said, breathe it in. Breathe it in. I said, oh, okay, Dad. I started choking. I said, that's good, Dad, that's good. He said, no. Finish it. Finish the whole thing, right? So I finished the whole thing, choking and wheezing and coughing. My poor mother's nearly in tears. And I finish it. I give it back to him, and he says, how was that, Kevin? I looked at him and I said, that was great. Anyway, so that much, which does not kill us, makes us stronger. No truer words have ever been said. Thank you.
Thank you, Kevin. 3 good speeches tonight. Now, again, for the benefit of our guests, each of these speeches has an evaluator assigned to it, and we will now hear the evaluation. The idea of an evaluation, of course, is to incite us to speak. So our first evaluator for Kitty's speech is Clyde Hillier. Clyde joined Toastmasters in 2005, but was out of it for about a year, and he came to us in the spring of this year. He's worked in the area of student services and distance education for over 20 years. In his spare time, he does running, kayaking, as we heard, snowmobiling, and spending time at his cabin. Please welcome Clyde.